NFL Week 11 gave me comeback wins by the 49ers and, dare I say, Kirk Cousins. And Monday Night Football, we will bury the career of Phillip Rivers. I've got the dirt. I brought the shovel. You've entered the Sports Opinion Log here in LexAnderson World. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to stay notified for any and all upcoming future videos. So the Prophet cleaned house on Week 11, of course, starting with the 1 o'clock games. The Texans at the Ravens. Final score 41-7. Lamar MVP Jackson, 222 yards, 4 touchdowns, 86 rushing yards for the game. Deshaun Jackson, yeah, the Ravens defense ate that ass up. 6 sacks, 18 for 29, 169 yards, an INT, a lost fumble, pass interference. DeAndre Hopkins clearly gets mugged on a play in the first quarter. The NFL's got a fucked up product. What's the point of having pass interference flags and reviews if you're going to uphold the bad calls and the non-calls? It makes no fucking sense. And in my upset game of the week, the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. Falcons got the victory. Final score 29-3 behind the Falcons defense, who intercepted Kyle Allen 4 times on the day, sacked him 5 times. Well, Kyle Allen has clearly come back to earth. They need to move Cam Newton out of there. And Ron Rivera, I think his time is up. I see him being fired in the future, and the Prophet will decree that as of this video. Cowboys at the Lions. Final score, Cowboys win 35-27. Dak Prescott, 444 yards, 3 touchdowns. However, Zeke Elliott only ran for 45 yards. He also ran for only 47 yards in a loss to the Minnesota Vikings. The Cowboys are still Super Bowl pretenders. Their secondary is atrocious. I just don't trust the Cowboys. Jerry Jones was a fool for giving Zeke Elliott $90 million on a rookie contract. Clearly he got him paid, and clearly he has no interest in being the dominant running back. Hell, he's not even top 5 as of this video. My other upset game of the week, Jaguars at Colts, 33-13. The Colts got the win, as the Colts literally ran all over the Jaguars defense for 264 yards for win number 300 for the franchise. Marlon Mack with 109 yards on 14 carries. Jonathan Williams, 13 carries, also for 109 yards. The Bills at Dolphins, we already know how this would end. Bills get the victory, 37-20, as the Bills sweep the Dolphins on the season. However, on the losing side for the Dolphins, Jakeem Grant had an electrifying 101-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Broncos at the Vikings. Vikings found themselves in a 20-0 hole going into halftime, only to be rescued by Kirk Cousins. In the second half, the man threw for 3 touchdowns, 319 total yards. First time in over 5 years, folks, over 100 games in which a team has won a game after being down 20-plus points at halftime. However, I will say this much. The last 10 seconds of the game, the referees definitely jobbed the Broncos in the red zone. Don't get it twisted. Saints at Buccaneers. Saints get the victory, 34-17. Drew Brees, 228 yards with 3 touchdowns. Michael Thomas, footnote in history, first player in NFL history with 90-plus catches in the first 10 games of the season and in the first 4 seasons of his career. Jameis Winston, 30 of 51, 313 yards, 2 TDs, 4 INTs, including a pick 6. The Jets at the Redskins. Jets get the victory, 34-17. Sam Darnold, career high, 4 touchdown passes, 293 yards on the day. And the Jets defense swarmed and sacked Dwayne Haskins all game long, 6 sacks, and the Redskins are off to their worst 10-game start since 1961, and they set a franchise record, negatively though, by going 16 consecutive quarters without scoring a touchdown. Shout out to Macaroni7. Man, good win for your team. 4 o'clock games, we got the Cardinals at the Niners. The Cardinals jumped out to a 16-0 lead to eventually lose. Final score 36-26. Niners get the comeback win. Jimmy G throws for 4 touchdowns, including the game-winning touchdown pass with 31 seconds left to play. 425 yards on the day. 2 interceptions, though, to go with the 4 touchdowns. And, of course, Kyler Murray postgame was crying about how he can't stand losing. Well, Kyler Murray, maybe you and your lackluster team shouldn't be blowing 16-0 leads to a Niners team that was pushed to the limit on Monday night. The Niners were there for the taking. The Patriots at the Eagles. Eagles were up 10-0 early, but it would be the Patriots who come back for the 17-10 win. And like I've said before, Carson Wentz, he just doesn't have it. Nick Foles, again, will always be the hero because he led the Eagles to their first ever Super Bowl. And Carson Wentz has shown me that he's just not a real leader and just can't get through the Patriots defense. The winless Bengals at the Raiders. The Raiders hold on for the 17-10 win. The Bengals match their 0-10 start to the season since the 1993 team, and sadly are the only team in the NFL without a win. Sunday Night Football, the Bears at the Rams. The Rams get the win 17-7. What? We had a Todd Gurley sighting? Season high 133 yards from scrimmage, 25 carries, 97 yards. However, I'm worried. Jared Goff, 11 of 17, 173 yards with an interception, no touchdowns. This isn't going to cut it, folks. I do not see the Rams returning to the Super Bowl. The fallout is complete. People might want to talk about the Bears' defense and everything like that, but Jared Goff doesn't have the capabilities or the qualities that I look to see in terms of a Super Bowl winning capable quarterback. Trubisky, however, left the game with a hip injury in the fourth quarter. And the Bears, like I've said before, need to be ready to move on from Trubisky. And if the Panthers don't want Cam Newton, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it right there in the air. Monday Night Football, Chiefs at Chargers. The Chargers were the home team. It was in Mexico City. The altitude was 7,000 plus feet in the air. The Chiefs get the win. Final score 24-17. It's their 10th win in 11 games versus the Chargers. I've got the shovel. I've got the dirt. We are going to bury the career of Phillip Rivers. It's over. He's old. The game was hard to watch. He threw a beautiful 50-yard pass that was completed to keep a drive alive that should have ended where it started. Struggling moving the ball. 4 interceptions. The numbers are just atrocious. He's thrown for 7 interceptions in the last 2 games, 14 interceptions for the season. He turns 38 next month. The Chargers need to prepare to move on into their new home without him, but I think they'll hang on to the memories, which will be detrimental to the franchise. Shovel, dirt, we're going to take it. I got to buy a real shovel for real, and we're just going to bury your career. You've never accomplished nothing. He's third on the list with most games played without a championship. He's at 122. Dan Marino, I think, is around 140-something. He's in third place. He's a loser. I don't care how many air yards he's been given. And shame on the so-called fake-ass NFL experts who always pick the Chargers to lead the AFC West and who always fall short. Their postseason hopes are done. Phillip Rivers' career is done. It is time to move on. Brother K, we talk about this all the goddamn time. Special shout out to Bryce as we're on the Twitter back and forth going on about the game. Macaroni 7, enough's enough. Phillip Rivers, LA Chargers, it's time to let go. It's time to move on. That's all I got. Thank you all very much for tuning in. And of course, special shout out to those watching me on the IGTV. I appreciate each and every one of you, which means only one thing. Dun, 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 dun. It is shout out time. Special shout out, new viewer, DK Poppy. DK Poppy, thank you very much for tuning in, my brother. I appreciate you. Gold's Conditioning, Weederwoods, M6 Drop, you know how we do. Who else do I got here? Fly Boy Tay, if you're tuning in. Gypsy Surf Fitness, thank you very much. And who else do we have there? Yep, Jules Clothing Line, Jules with a Z, _clothing. Week 12 predictions are on the way, but the only way that you can be a part of it is by subscribing to the channel and pressing the bell icon to stay notified for any and all upcoming future videos. LexAnderson is signing out.